The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Ashley Morgan. I'm a training specialist here at the Norwex Home Office. I'm really excited about this webinar today. It was a very popular workshop at our 2017 U.S. National Conference, and it actually ended up filling so quickly that not everyone was able to get a seat. So because of that, we are doing this webinar today, and the leader that taught the workshop so graciously agreed to come on today and spend some more time with us and share the information again. Again, the name of the workshop was The Host, Your Greatest Resource. So she is a very, very busy person, so we truly appreciate her being on here. Not only is she a top leader at Norwex, but she's also a mom of 6 beautiful children. So she definitely has her hands full, and we're so excited to hear again from her today. So with that being said, let's welcome Vice President Sales Leader Katie White. Hey, Katie.
Hi there. Thank you so much, Ashley. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the call. I'm Katie, and here is a picture of my family because I always think it's fun to know a bit about who you're listening to. You guys, I am really eager to share with you about Hostess Coaching because it is an activity that has had an enormous impact on my personal business. And I assure you, if you will take up the consistent and thoughtful approach to Hostess Coaching, you will see a transformation happen in your business too. And I know that Hostess Coaching does not sound glamorous. There's no recognition for it in the newsletter or at conference, but Hostess Coaching is integral. It's absolutely essential for a maximally successful party. Can you have a good party without it? Certainly. I have before because I didn't do good Hostess Coaching early on in my business. But Hostess Coaching, what it does is it sets the stage for you to reap as much as possible from each party opportunity you're given. With consistent Hostess Coaching, I personally saw dramatic change in my parties. I was having stronger parties, an increase in party attendance, higher sales, and far fewer cancellations, and even an increase in bookings and recruits, and even repeat hostesses. And those benefits are amazing. Don't we all want that? I'm sure you're nodding your head because we do. We want to make the most of every party. And please know, keep in mind, you can impact this. This is all you. There's no question about who's in charge of this. It's us. And so you can directly impact your party prowess and increased sales and attendance and more of your parties with a simple activity that truly takes a collective 20 minutes worth of work. And I have timed it. It really is only about 20 minutes all added together. But man, it packs the punch. Okay, so I want you to think about your party like a big ship, as you can see in the slide there. That's the party boat, and the rudder, as the arrow is pointing at, it's like a little triangle there. It's very small. It's hundreds of times smaller than the rest of the boat, and yet it's very powerful. It can turn that whole large ship. That's what Hostess Coaching is. It is powerful, and it will turn your party towards much greater success. Now, before I share my personal approach and system for Hostess Coaching, I want you to realize that you have to own this, okay? When doing Hostess Coaching, you are the professional. This is part of your job, and your hostesses are going to view you as the authority. So own it. I know for me, and I'm sure some of you have felt this way, I used to feel awkward reaching out to my hostess and giving her little tips and tricks, like I might be babying her or telling her something she already knew. But then I realized that having an awesome party comes naturally to very few of my hostesses. And without my nudging and guidance, it just got neglected. Her party got neglected, she got overwhelmed, or she didn't quite know what to do, or she procrastinated. So remember, the hostesses and they will look to you to coach them, right? Just like a coach on a basketball team, you're cheering them on, you're helping them know what to do, where to go, and how to win, how to have a great party. So they need reminders because not everyone thinks about Norwex as much as we do, right? So it's your job to keep it on their minds so you and your host have a great party, okay? So get it in your mind that this is part of your job. This is not optional, all right? Now, as consultants, another way to think about this is we are like the party GPS. Your hostess's destination is an awesome party, and we are helping her know what to do, where to turn, and we're equipping her to get there. She needs you. Now, of course, sometimes your hostess may off-road and you've got to, recalculate, or she may just shut you off. But it is part of your job to put it out there, whether or not she follows. So get the resources and tools into her hands, and it will be mutually beneficial. Higher sales for you, more host rewards for her, and she will get lost much less frequently with your clear, consistent, simple party coaching. And this is, like I said, it's not optional, okay? So when you commit to helping someone share Norwex with their friends, you are helping them throughout the whole process. All right. So now I will share with you how I approach hostess coaching. This works very well for me, but I would encourage you, take notes as I'm talking, look at my process, and then make it your own system that fits your life and your style. Okay, just bottom line though, you need to have a system and you need to put it into practice. You've got to implement it. All right, so once someone books a party with me, the first thing I do is give her a party packet. You can see a picture of that on your screen. If we're in person, I'll hand it to her. It's in an envelope, and if not, I will mail it, okay? I try to keep this very simple because too much information, too much paper, too much going on, it's overwhelming. People will stick it in a pile. They'll never touch it, or they'll just shut down, and they might even just cancel the party because people are busy. So we want to make it easy for her. That is part of hostess coaching, making success as simple and attainable for her as possible. Quick story, I hosted a party about 2 years ago, and I don't think I'll ever forget. It was like a 2-inch thick packet. It had so many inserts and brochures and this and that. It was a turnoff. I was really overwhelmed because I'm a detail person. I felt like I had to read it all, and I didn't have time to do that. So please make the effort to keep your packet down to the necessities. This will serve you well. It'll save you money, save you paper. Everything in your packet should serve a purpose, and less is more, I assure you. So here's what I do. I put 2 catalogs, 3 to 5 order forms, 1 of those little square opportunity brochures, 1 set of the Norwex postcards, or if you're a graphic designer, you can make your own, but I use the Norwex ones, the host rewards for their party, if I have them, right? If she's booking in November, I don't have those yet, so I'll mail them to her, email them, or text them. And then I have in the bottom left there my personal hostess checklist. And so what I do is I hand it to her, and I tell her, keep this in a safe place, okay? I will reach out to you 3 weeks before your party, and we'll go over it, okay? I just get it into her hands. I tell her, just set this aside, and we're going to go over it 3 weeks before your party. I don't go through it with her at the party. At that moment, her head is spinning, right? There's all these dancing microfiber possibilities going on in her head, and she probably won't remember much, if anything, that I go over. So, and plus, usually at a party, there's other people probably wanting to check out or ask me questions, and so I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So I just let her know, hold on to this. It has everything you need for a successful party, and I'll be in touch. It's easy. Now, if someone books outside of a party, I'll mail it, and I usually mail them about 3.5 weeks before the party date. I feel because I don't start my hostess coaching until 3 weeks before the party. So if I give it to her 2 months in advance, there's a higher chance that she might lose it or yeah, I might have to mail another one, waste it, and I don't want to do that. So 3.5 weeks is when I mail it. All right. Now, very quickly, I want to review my hostess checklist because I know that that's something that I created and you might have questions about it. So this is a resource that has been such a helpful tool in my hostess coaching. And my friend, executive sales leader Christy Fields, deserves credit for inspiring and helping me with it. I would encourage you to create something like it to use in your own business to help motivate hostesses, as well as give them a plan and a reward. So here are some of the principles that helped me create it. Incentivize what you want, okay? Do not just throw out arbitrary prizes or have hostesses do pointless activities. We want those things to drive the results that we need. Keep it simple and clear. Do not make it overwhelming. I tell my hostesses that this sheet is a recipe for a great party. So use language that lets her know that it's a roadmap of activities to lead her to success, okay, and that it's easy and simple. And be sure to point it out to her, okay? Don't just stick it in your packet and assume that she has read it and started ticking every item off on her own. Coach her, point it out to her. So now, what do we want from our parties? So as you're thinking about maybe creating a resource to use in your hostess coaching, what do you want? And I've listed some of the main things that we desire. We want high attendance. More people means more homes changed, more people there that can book or join our team that are buying. We want higher sales, bookings, recruits, and of course, we want fewer or no cancellations. So here's mine. This is my my checklist. You want to make sure it's full of activities that facilitate the results you want. So as you can see, invite at least 40 people. I have her over invite because the more people will come if she does that. So that gives me higher attendance. I want her using the products because we all know seeing is believing, and her testimonies will drive people to the party. So higher attendance. I have her invite at least 2 weeks before the party. Again, that helps attendance. Last minute inviting sometimes works, but usually people want to plan ahead. I have her read the host rewards to get her excited and motivated and get outside orders to increase sales and so on. So each of my items has a purpose, and I encourage you to create some sort of tool like this to help give her a plan and keep her on track and motivated. And for me, when my hostess does all of these items, they're all simple, I reward her with a $20 shopping spree, and it works. I would say over 90% of my hostesses who turn this checklist into me have $1,000 parties. Okay, so it pays off. My party average truly has gone up notably since using this checklist and coaching hosts to actually use it. So it gives her a plan and a goal, and it definitely pays off. And one other thing I do want to point out, at the very bottom check, it says encourage 2 friends to host Norwex parties of their own. I have seen different resources where, it requires them to have a booking before the party. And the reason I didn't do that is because that's out of her control. She can talk to everyone she knows about hosting, but they may not. And I didn't want one item to blow it for her, right? For her to get discouraged. So that's why I use that one, to get her at least talking about it and encouraging it. Okay. So back to my system. You've booked a party and your hostess has her packet. And how are you feeling right now? Excited, of course, but hopefully you're feeling grateful. Parties, we don't have a business without parties. They are the heartbeat of our business. So the next thing I do is say thank you. Okay, this is when I'm going to express my sincere gratitude by sending a simple handwritten note or postcard to her, just saying thanks. Okay, and I say something like, thank you so much for booking a Norwex party with me. It's such a blessing. I'm excited to share Norwex with you and your friends and help you get lots of free Norwex. I'll be in touch soon to help you plan your party. It's something like that, just quick and simple. I always put the date of her party just as a reminder, and that keeps it fresh, right? She's excited at the party, but then when she gets that thank you, it's just another touch point of, hey, this is a commitment, this is real, someone's taking effort to remind me of my party and to say thank you. So definitely do that, and it really is so quick and easy. I think it's really, really important. Gratitude, expressing gratitude is always important. And again, it's just that touch point, reminding her that you're a real person, not just a date on her calendar that she can disregard. Now, the real hostess coaching begins, but you must have a plan for your hostess coaching or things will not go well. When I get a new booking, this is my plan right here. When I get a new booking on my calendar, I use a month view calendar, like those big desk ones. You can get them at the store, $10. And I have hung mine up on my office wall. And this actually doubles as my brain because with lots of kids, if anybody can relate, your brain just starts deteriorating. So this tells me what to do for each party and when to do it. So it really narrows my focus down to the must-dos of the day. And I write all kinds of things on here, not just hostess coaching, right? Anything that's essential to that day. So put that where you can see it, where you can have it written out, because when you have multiple parties a month, you just cannot expect to remember all the details of what your hostess does or doesn't have, and your hostess will suffer for it, right, if you're not on the ball. And I have experienced this early on in my business. I would, couldn't remember, did I send her a packet, or I'd forget to send her a packet, or even touch base with her until the day before her party. I'll never forget, I called a hostess the day before her party, and of course she canceled because she probably totally forgot about me. That's bad business, and your parties will flounder, or in my case, cancel. Trust me. All right. So there it is, zoomed in on exactly what I write for each party. I keep it very simple. I write the hostess's party date first, so right there on the 30th. And I work my way back. So Jamie's party on the 30th. I'm going to go back 3 weeks from that and just write those simple reminders of each touch point. So 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, and 1 week before. And then a day or two before as well. Then on those given days, every day I look at my calendar and I can just do that quick, simple task that's waiting for me. And it's not left forgotten or undone. It's right in front of me. And all of the must-dos in my business for that day are right there, ready to go. So I don't get distracted by things that can probably wait or aren't as important. I love my calendar so much. I really could not do my business without it. And for some of you, reminders on your phone or computer may work for you. That's fine. It really doesn't matter if you're into that. Great. I just prefer pen and paper. The point is that it gets done, right? Whatever system works for you, put it into place, do these activities. All right. So I write it on my calendar. That's key for having solid hostess coaching, laying everything out so you remember what to do for each hostess. And of course, make a habit of looking at that calendar daily. And, you've probably heard people say, touch your business every day. This is a great way to do that, even if it's just 10 minutes, sending out some text messages, mailing a packet. This calendar helps me do that and prioritize. Okay. And hostess coaching is always a top priority for me because I don't have a business without her. So once it's on my calendar, a great thing about this is I can put it out of my mind until that day comes around, which is just so much less stressful than trying to keep it all in my brain. I just absolutely can't. So then one other thing that I utilize is I have a hostess coaching checklist that you can see for my personal tracking. And this form allows me to see all of my parties for the month. So I have one sheet per month. I write the day or the month up at the top. And it lets me track what I've done for each individual hostess. Because I have a very full party schedule. I do at least 12 parties a month. So this right here is key for me. I know other consultants I've seen have hostess coaching checklists, and each hostess gets one checklist per hostess. And that's fine if that works for you, but my brain just prefers to see everybody all at once instead of just shuffling multiple papers. So just find what works for you. This is what works for me. Now, I can check off here that I've given her a host packet and that I've sent her a postcard, which, again, that just takes a couple minutes to do those two activities. So far, so good. Next comes, as you can see there, 3 weeks before her party, and this is the bulk of my hostess coaching work. I'm going to create and manage a Facebook event for her. Which is very simple, especially if you use a posting service, by the way. I create a Red Stamp. Red Stamp is a free app, so download that. It's very helpful. They look really great. And then I send those to her. I add her to the Facebook event. I text her the Red Stamp. And then in that next column, you can see I set up with her a call. I call it the 3-week call to go over everything in the packet and, the Red Stamp and the Facebook event. Now, with most of my hostesses, I do a lot of texting because it's quick and easy for both of us. Obviously, depending on the hostess, you may have to adjust that, and that's fine. But I almost never email because I think email is dying, and I personally dislike it. But for some people, it still works. So if someone asks me to, I absolutely will, but it's very rare. So I'll text her the Red Stamp, and you can actually see right here that I did that. And you can see I said, look good. So I ask her to check all the details, make sure it looks good, and then I'll have her proof it and I tell her, save it like a picture and text it out to your friends. This is such an easy way for my hostesses to invite people. They love it. But do make sure that they know how to use it. Because for many, this is a new approach. They don't know about Red Stamp. They don't know what this thing is. So that simple line of just texting her, save it and text it out like a picture clarifies. And most people know how to text a picture. So then I'm going to set up a quick call with her. And I always let her know that it will be quick. And this is a call where I go over what is in the packet and all the ways that she can invite. And I go over that hostess checklist. So this slide right here kind of summarizes what I'm going to do, what I'm going to go over. And so I'm actually going to just right now kind of pretend that I'm on the phone with the hostess. Obviously, this will be one-sided, just so you can know how it goes. Okay. Hey, Caitlin, thanks so much for a bit of your time today. I have been doing this for a long time, and I found that touching base and going over a few key things really helps you have an awesome party, which I know you want. So first of all, let's go over that packet you got at Leah's party. There's catalogs in there, and those are a great resource. I want you to use those, show your neighbors, coworkers, friends at church, whoever, because, a lot of people don't know what Norwex is. So that's a good way to introduce it to them. And of course, if they can't come, it's a great way to get an order. Now, you have order forms in your packet, so try to fill those up with as many orders as you can, because that really is going to help your party sales and get you more free Norwex, which we love. Now, I know you got the text invitation I sent you, and those are a great way to easily and quickly let your friends know about the party. Just save it, shoot it out. It just takes a minute. Now, your party is 3 weeks away, and I'm telling you, this is the perfect time to invite. So definitely put that on your to-do list for today or tomorrow. Also, I set up a Facebook event that you can use to let people know about your party. But I have to warn you, Facebook is the least effective way to invite people. So definitely make sure that if you use that event, that you're using other methods to get people there as well. Facebook is a million miles a minute, and it's just so easy for people to miss things. Now, at this point, my hostess usually agrees with me. So I point that out to her. So I know Facebook is easy, but also touch base in another way too. And you'll see that there's postcards in your packet there. And you might be thinking, those are so 1980s, but I wanted you to have them anyway, because sometimes it's just nice to have them to hand out or, as a reminder, or give to someone who doesn't text message or use Facebook. If you don't use them, no worries. Just give them back to me at the party and I'll recycle them. But I wanted you to have them just in case. And of course, I want you to know that the very best way to get people to your party is by inviting personally through calls or as you see people. So you have plenty of options for inviting and getting the word out. I give you all of them and you can find what works for you. Just talk it up. That's your main job. Now, also in your packet are the host rewards, which are so good in October. Have you looked at those? Okay, well, I want you to read over that and start looking at all that you can earn. I know you have your eye on the MOP, so we will definitely want to shoot for that $1,000 level, which we can totally do. I have $1,000 parties all the time. You just get your friends there and I'll do the rest. The last and most important thing in the packet there is something I created just for my hostesses. It's that hostess checklist. Yeah, pull that out. Now, you were probably going to do all of these things already, but it's just a list of very doable things that are going to help you have an amazing party. It's a recipe for a great party. So follow that, and if you check them all off, I am going to give you an extra $20 shopping spree. And we love the free stuff, don't we? All right, do you have any questions about any of that? Okay, great. Well, just remember that this is all about fun. We're going to have a great time. I do not want this to be stressful. Do not feel like you have to have a ton of food or that your house has to be perfectly clean. You just focus on being excited and getting your friends there so that we can share Norwex with them. Now, I'll be in touch with you along the way, but let me know, don't hesitate to reach out if I can help you anytime. So that is the gist of my call. And I know it's a little weird because it's one-sided, just me, but there's interaction there. I respond as she, asks questions. But that call is so effective. And I know that there's this kind of perception that calls are outdated or they take too much time or people don't want to be on the phone. But I almost never have trouble making this happen. And it does pay off. It only takes about 5 minutes. Unless your hostess is chatty, and even then, no more than 10 minutes. And this makes sure that she is opening her packet, that it's not left under a pile of kids' homework and laundry or whatever else. It helps her have inviting on her brain, and she has that beloved hostess checklist that hopefully she's going to use as her guide. Okay, now, own this call. Remember, you're the authority, and she really wants to do this party. So don't feel like you're bothering her or babying her. This is helpful to both of you. You're on the same page. And you can see on this slide, one thing I definitely want to highlight, that the Facebook image has that little X on it. And I just always make sure that to warn her about not only inviting through Facebook. Okay, it really helps. I know that Facebook is easy, it's easy for her, but it is just not very effective. And when I point that out to her, she acknowledges it, right? She looks past how easy it is, and it just helps her not go that route that's easy, but helps her just have a better party and know that she needs to do something else as well. Okay, so guess what? Check. I can check off those 2 boxes of the 3-week to-dos. And then I can put her out of my mind. Those items are done. And I do not have to do anything for her until her name pops up on my calendar in a week. And I used to constantly review and worry about who has what do I need to be doing for so-and-so. And knowing that I have a plan in place is just so freeing to be able to put that out of my mind until a week later. And then you can see it's time for my 2-week text, okay? And this, I do a text. You could do, a Facebook message or something like that. You can call if your hostess needs to, but for me, I do a lot of texting. And this text takes like 10 seconds. It's so easy. And I use this time, the reason I do this is to make sure that she is inviting. So if she has, delayed since we talked on the phone and didn't start, I definitely don't want her waiting any longer than 2 weeks before. So I say something, and you can see it here. So here's my example on the left. 2 weeks away, how's inviting going? And she said, good, but I need to do more tomorrow, which means I haven't really done anything. And then you just go from there, talk it up, get them excited. All right. And then look, later that day or the next day, she invited 40. So that touch point really got her in gear, because it's been a week since we talked, and she's kind of feeling like, oh, I need to get strengthen my game here. Emily says, 3 confirmed and a handful of maybes with kind of that womp womp face. So that's a time to encourage, right? And to let her know, keep doing it, keep encouraging. There's plenty of time. And this gal right here, Emily, had a $1,000 party. So just encouragement is a huge part of it. And then you can see over here on the right, Allie, 2 weeks away, looks like people are coming. Let me know if you need anything. It's just a touch point. Again, I'm a real person. I'm working on my end. I need you to be working on your end. And that's it. We're done. Check it off. It's that simple. Okay. Now, let's see. Hold on. All right. So then my calendar says you don't have to do anything until 1 week. So again, another touch point. I'm just checking in, making sure my hostess is doing what she needs to do, and reminding her that it's a real commitment. I'm a real person. Don't ignore me. So you can see right here that I just say, 1 week. I'm not asking her to do anything. It's just another touch point. How's party planning coming? Do you need anything? It's not hard. It's not hard. I don't have a script. I just know at 1 week I want to be touching base with her. Okay? Very, very easy. All right. Now, boom, boom. I've done all these things. It's so easy. It's just really about getting that system in place that takes the most work. And then it's basically on autopilot. So now I don't do anything really unless she reaches out to me other than these touch points. And then at a day or two before her party, and you can call or text on this one, it's just a chance to let her know that you're ready to go, you're planning on it, any last minute details she may need help with or questions you have about getting to her house. And this is your opportunity to encourage her to do that last minute push of inviting and reminding. So this is the same girl, and I just touched base. I said, hey, are we ready to party? And then I give this I always say the same thing. I copy and paste it from the last hostess I texted, and I just give her that last tip. Do some quick reminding, let them know if they bring a friend, they get a guest, they get a gift. That's it. Super, super simple. And that last minute reminding really, really pays off. And I did want to point out really quickly, this is something I do sometimes, not all the time, but my good friend, Carrie Minturn, she's a senior executive sales leader, created this awesome image. And I sometimes will text this the day of the party and just say, hey, here's a fun text you can send out as a last minute reminder. So you can be creative and have fun and share these different things to equip your hostess to talk it up. And now it's time for the party. You have laid the groundwork to maximize your time at that party. Now, of course, you need to have a good party with a good presentation. You need to make it fun. You need to know your product and be confident. These are also keys to success. But if no one comes or if the party cancels, you don't get the chance to do those things. So do your awesome hostess coaching, then rock the party. And that is a combination that can't be beat. Now, there's one part of hostess coaching that I really want to go over, because your job is not done once the party happens. Okay? You still have work to do, and you can still influence that party after it's over. And again, this is part of the job. So one thing that I do to to help have a more successful party is I go back to the host rewards. I'm going to let her know where she stands. Let's say she has $600 in sales, she has 6 buying guests, and no booking. This is what I'm going to say. You need to really reach out to all of your friends and get someone to host a party. Wasn't this fun? And you're going to get this whole package. Or I'll say, you're only $150 away from this 750 level. Whatever she's close to, coach her towards that. Honestly, I always go higher because I'll tell her, I've seen people get hundreds of dollars of sales outside of their party. So just follow up with everyone and we're going to get you there. Because your encouragement does go a long way, because remember, you're the authority, you're the professional, and she trusts you. So reassure her, and you may even just set a goal for her. We're going for the 750 level. So that's three household packages. Who can you reach out to? So sometimes you just have to have that confidence, because she doesn't have the frame of reference. She doesn't know, wow, that's only 3 household packages I need to convince, friends that they need, and give her those ideas. Okay. I'll tell you, I have seen sales really jump just by instilling that in her and giving her those ideas. Guess what? Now you can check off all of these items, boom, boom, boom. And the only thing left is that last box where I thank her again. After the party, I am going to send just a quick thank you, write it on a postcard after her party has closed, I should say. And again, I just tell her, I want you to know I really am grateful. Thank you for letting me share Norwex and change people's homes. I hope you're loving your new products. Just something quick like that, because I do think gratitude is so important. Now, I want you all to know Norwex has these 2 resources on your back office, kind of inspired by what I do there, and then another kind of training and checklist that you can use. So these are available, or you could create something like what I do. Those are there for you. So lastly, I want you guys to know that you can do this. This is a system. This isn't rocket science. It's just figuring out what you're going to do, putting it into place, and it pays off. So here is your assignment. I'm going to give you an assignment. Take your notes from today, and I want you to set aside an hour. Find an hour, whenever that can be squeezed in, and it's just set aside only for hostess coaching. And you're going to decide what would work for you, what would fit into your life. Do you want to use a wall calendar and hang it in your workspace or your office? Do you want to have a system where you set it up on your phone and it'll send you reminders? What will go in your host packet? Will you use Facebook or Red Stamp or both? Make a plan. Take my ideas. You may do it just like me. You may tweak it. That's fine. But please do not just listen today and not act. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So set aside some time to get your system in place, and then you just have to follow it. Just do what it says. It really kind of, like I said earlier, it's like autopilot. And I have a very full life. Just our family and homeschool and all the things we do. It's just busy. I know everyone is busy. And that's what I love about my system is I feel like if I can fit it in, anyone can. And it does. It fits in very easily. I can shoot text out as I'm hiding in the bathroom from my twin toddlers or during nap time or even while they're at my feet. These texts are simple. And that 3-week call, that's the biggest portion. And you can make time for that after the kids are in bed, while you're driving or on your lunch break, whatever little snippet of time you have, you can fit that in there. And you should do this. For your business, do hostess coaching. Do it well, because that will maximize the time that you're away from home partying. And you'll be so glad you did. You will reap the rewards. So I want to say thank you. I am glad you all were here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited because I really know how dramatically this can help your business. And I think we're going to take some questions now.
Thank you so much, Katie. That was amazing as always. I love hearing you speak. I think this might be the third time that I've heard you talk about hostess coaching, and every time I'm never bored. I love your analogies and your fun sayings. So you always do a great job. And again, today did a fabulous job again. So thank you.
Thank you.
So if
Anytime.
anyone has questions, I'll start reviewing those now. And while those are coming in, just really quick, Katie did mention that we do have a host coaching checklist, and it was really strongly influenced by what Katie does and the tools that Katie uses with her permission. That is on our consultant office. It's under training, parties, and then party prep. So that's where you're going to find all of your host coaching material. You'll also be able to find this webinar there. So if you want to go back and rewatch the webinar, maybe share it with some team members. Again, it'll be in the same section under your training, parties, and then party prep. That'll be up sometime next week. And then don't forget about our new host coaching video that we have that's really fun and easy to text out to all those people. So let's see here. Let me see through the questions. We have somebody asked, Katie, do you use the postcard invites provided by Norwex, and how many do you give them? So I think you answered, the answer is yes, you use them, but maybe how many do you give them?
Yes, I just do a set of 10, and then if they ask for more, I'll provide more. So I don't want to I don't want to give them a ton that they may use or throw away. So I give them the 10, same with order form, and give more as requested.
Perfect. Let's see. Mackenzie wants to know, what is your gift for bringing a guest?
Whatever I have on hand. Honestly, Mackenzie, I tell newer consultants, people love free stuff. They don't care if it's a micro hand pad cut in half or a sample of detergent. Like, they just love free stuff. So as a newer consultant, I did small things like that, detergent. As my business grew, I would give things like, a travel cloth, a Spira net, a Spira sponge. Now currently I have a lot of shopping sprees. So I'll even do a makeup cloth or body cloth. But just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be whatever you have. And I'm changing it all the time because I don't say what they're going to get. And then they're just happy whenever they get something.
Who doesn't love something free no matter what it is, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so we have Diane here. She is talking about your checklist that you give to the host. She's saying, can I see that one more time? And I think I've heard you speak to this before about how you really encourage people to kind of make their own material and do their own thing that works for them. So I'll let you answer that, Katie, how you would just answer that one.
Yeah. Diane, absolutely. And the slides are going to be up with this webinar. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yeah, they'll be all
okay,
one
the slides
part.
will be up. Yeah, so you can get ideas. I mean, I just have found, and I think I'm actually doing you a favor by not just handing it over, because I want you to own it, right? You may phrase things differently, or you may want different things out of your party. You may say, have 10 people at your party and I'll give you an extra gift, or, you may phrase it differently, and I want it to be yours. So, but yeah, you will absolutely see a copy of mine on the slides that are posted with this replay next week.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. We have a couple questions about Facebook parties. Let me make sure.
Okay.
We've got Audra. She wants to know, do you have any suggestions for a Facebook hostess checklist, or how to do that and make it work with a Facebook event?
Sure. So I do want to clarify that what I set up on Facebook is not a Facebook party. It's just an invitation for her to add people to, and then I'll do just some little blurbs about what Norwex is. It's very simple. Okay, so I do want to make that distinction. I also will admit that I am the last person you want advice about Facebook parties, actual parties from. But I do know, and I'm sorry that I don't personally have one, that there are resources, I believe, on the back office of a Facebook party like Hostess Tic-Tac-Toe. I'm almost positive.
Yep, there
So
is.
yeah, okay. So maybe Ashley could direct us to that because I personally don't do a lot of that.
Yeah,
I rock the in-home party though, girl.
that stuff, the tic-tac-toe particularly will be with the other party games, and that's again going to be under your training menu under parties, and then you'll find it under that parties section. All that material is under there. And then we also have a social media section under the training tab, and there's a lot of great Facebook party content there. But Katie, Jenna wants to know, with the Facebook link that you set up for them, do you do any posts before your actual in-home party?
Yes, I do. I use a posting service, and like I said, I just, I'll do some of videos from Norwex, some quick blurbs. I do post, bring a friend, you'll get a gift. I do little reminders, 2 days until the party, hope you can make it. After the party, last chance to order. So it's not, I don't want to be annoying, right? Because Facebook is just crazy. It's a million miles a minute. So I do, because there are people maybe out of town that can't come, or even in town who haven't heard of Norwex. So I'll whet their appetite and give them enough to kind of know what's going on. So yeah, but it's not like a Facebook actual party.
Okay, perfect. We'll take a couple more questions. We still have them coming in, and we still have a few minutes left. So, Barbara, okay, good. Barbara wants to know, do you always book dates a month out? What about booking where it's close together? Like if you have a party that comes up and it's less than 2 weeks away. I think she's kind of getting at, like, how do you do all this hostess coaching, or how do you spread it out like that?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And, you just roll with it, right? If I have someone, because my party calendar is pretty full, I tend to have to book a good at least 3 weeks out. But if something happens and it's closer, you just adjust, right? So if I have someone sitting down with me and she wants to book in 2 weeks, I'm going to tell her, great, here's your packet. I'm going to call you tomorrow and we're going to get on this and we're going to start inviting. So you adjust. You're going to do your 3-week call as soon as possible and create all that stuff pretty quickly. And then just fill in your calendar with, you might text her at a week and a half and make sure she's been inviting, and then again at a week. So you just kind of have to play with it, but definitely be a little more on top of things to help her get the word out and feel equipped to do that. But yeah, 2 weeks is plenty of time for sure. I just like the 2 to 3 week buffer, because like I said, if they kind of dilly-dally, then at 2 weeks I can really kind of say, all right, let's rock and roll. So yeah, totally, you can do that.
Awesome. Okay, one more question. Jenny wants to know, do you include the monthly customer specials in your host packet, or do you leave it out to keep it simple?
I leave it out. I don't think that there's anything wrong with putting it in. I do display them at the party, and I will text them to the hostess to help her get outside orders, usually only if she asks for them. But yeah, just to keep it simple, I don't personally. That's another thing you could post. People have asked about Facebook. You could always post those, a week or, within a week of the party. If you want to order but can't come, here's my link. Check out the customer specials for the month. So that's something you could do, but there's no wrong way. This is just how I do it.
Awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to answer one last question. Sarah, you were wondering, where do we find the new video made for hostesses? In that same place where you're going to find all of our hosting and pre-party prep. It's going to be on the consultant office under our training menus, again, parties and then party prep. You'll find a video player in that section, and it'll have that hostess coaching video that's called Get Ready to Party, and it's supposed to be fun and simple, something you can text out to your hostesses or even put in Facebook, since Facebook's been a hot topic. And then I think that's it. Katie, is there anything else that you have for us?
I don't think so. I will say that hostess coaching video is super cute. You guys should all watch it. And if it fits you or fits, your hostess's style, shoot that to her. The reason I didn't mention it is that I already had my system in place. But for you guys, this may fit nicely into how you want to do hostess coaching. So definitely give that a look. And if you love it, use it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, just as a reminder, like I said, this will be going up on the consultant office. And Katie, once again, thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ashley.
All right. Bye-bye.